It's been quite the ride for the Toronto Wolfpack in only 2 years of existence. Aside from the uniqueness of being the lone North American team in a system dominated by English teams, they took the Rugby Football League by storm last season, going unbeaten in the regular season and securing promotion to the championship, the second tier in the league system. And the momentum hasn't slowed down in 2018. They won 20 of their 23 regular season games and are now taking part in the Rugby League qualifiers with a chance to earn promotion again and a spot in the world-famous Super League for next season. And they're turning heads in a crowded Toronto sports landscape with a fan-friendly home environment at Lamport Stadium, fueled by hot dog cannons, craft beer tents, and a passionate, growing fan base. If you don't know about the Toronto Wolfpack, we mentioned this at the beginning of the show when we teased the fact that we're going to have two guys that are much bigger than us on today. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today because 8,000 plus people know when you guys play on a weekly basis at Lamport or whenever you play at home, and it's time to continue the education process. Now,
all of Liberty Village knows when
legitimately,
they play, to be honest, because it's so loud, that atmosphere.
Lots has changed in the 2 years that the team's been in existence, including apparently your looks, because you guys came in and were laughing at the pictures of yourselves on the monitor there. You don't like those? Or like you're happier with the looks right now?
I am. I didn't recognise myself with brown hair, so it's a bit of a nice change actually. Might have to get rid of the blonde, but we'll see.
We'll talk about that. It's Blake Wallace, Ryan Brierley, both of the Toronto Wolfpack who are continuing their amazing run, their amazing story. Take off the hat for a sec, Blake.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about why you have blonde hair.
I had a bet with one of the boys. We're playing FIFA on the PlayStation, and I was feeling confident. I backed myself and I said, you know, loser dyes their hair blonde, and he beat me 1-0, and I ended up being a man of my word and dyed the hair blonde.
And you kept it.
Yeah, well,
that hurts.
It's
like,
a bit
who
of a
missed
good
the chance for you that could have got your hair the normal color?
Like, who'd you play with?
Gaz O'Brien, our fullback, but it was it worked out all right for me. I actually started playing some half-decent games of footy, so maybe it was a good luck charm. I don't know.
Nice. Let's talk about the actual Toronto Wolfpack right now. You guys are in the midst of a pretty intriguing battle for promotion as well. Explain a little bit about what you guys are going through and now playing a game here on Saturday at home in Toronto.
Yeah, so at the moment also we're facing like a playoff system, also similar to you guys back in North America. So also we've got 4 home games. We've already played our first away game, which was against Halifax. We managed to win that game. So we put ourselves in a really good position. But throughout the season, this was probably the main goal, the main focus in earning promotion to Super League. So listen, we're under no illusions how tough this test is going to be, but also it's one we're really looking forward to.
I love that the stakes are so high. People have talked about MLS in North America, and if promotion and relegation would help that league. Now that you guys are so close to it, what is the talk around the club about taking that huge next step, which is not that far?
At the moment, it's a week-to-week thing. We've got a job to do, you know, and I don't think we can get too far ahead of ourselves. We prepare well during the week, and then, you know, come Saturday afternoon, we're ready to go and put our best foot forward.
There's a lot of different stories within the team. The makeup of the team is so unique compared to what we're used to seeing in traditional North American sports. Like, you were a plumber before coming here. You played in some Super League before coming here. I'm going to ask you both separately first. Why did you decide to come to Toronto, of all places in the entire world, to play rugby?
So I didn't have to keep plumbing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What made it so unique?
I like getting out of my comfort zone and to sort of get an opportunity to play professionally in a country where the sport's new, and have the chance to be able to grow the game here, and, you know, sort of show kids like how good the sport is, and see them get the same sort of enjoyment out of what I got with it at that age. That was a big thing for me. So.
You talk about growing the game, and not to speak for the franchise, but for my estimation, you guys are quickly going to outgrow Lamport, where you play, the way the fan base has continued to grow. In Canada, there are passionate rugby pockets. In BC, places in Ontario, a little bit in the Maritimes and Manitoba. But do you think at some point this will become a nation as a whole that will really embrace the game because of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. I think what we've got is special, and I think the better we go and the more people start to buy into it, I think the bigger it's going to get. And honestly, it could be massive.
What are some of the unique things, Ryan? Like, again, you played overseas and then decided to come here as well. First of all, what was that decision like, and what were some of the challenges that you faced when coming to Toronto, and what's been some of the similarities and differences you found in the fan bases, the game, and just the growth of the sport here versus where you've played before?
Yeah, obviously I was very close friends with a lot of the players on this team before I joined. Obviously I was at Huddersfield Giants in the Super League, so I had a lot of close friends who I spoke to quite regular, including the coach Paul Rowley, and I had a different outlook on the team. I had an outside looking in kind of view, and I don't think quite then Paul Rowley realised how big this could have been, and I remember saying to him that you don't understand how big this could be. From the outside, the work our marketing team do are unbelievable. So the work they do in promoting those guys and exposing those guys to the world, not just Canada but the whole world, is amazing. I think in terms of social media following and all that kind of stuff, obviously compare that to every other team in the Super League, and we do quite well. So yeah, for me it was more from the outside looking in about how much potential this had, and obviously as soon as I got here, I straight away knew I made the right decision.
Are you surprised at all? Sorry, Don. Are you surprised at all by the reception that you guys get every game? From the beginning of last year, it felt like that place was sold out and continuing to break records for the amount of people that fit in Lamport. Are you surprised at all by that?
Mind blown. I think that's probably the main thing I say about our supporters, about how loyal they are. I remember we turned up to our first home game and there's a guy with a Toronto tattoo on his arm, and he'd never seen the game over here before. I was just like, you are crazy. But obviously, we love it. And obviously, when you see kids with like my name on the back, it's I say again, it makes it all worthwhile. It's a special feeling, and one that I can never say thank you enough for. It's a unique, like what you said before. It's really unique, and we can't thank our fans enough.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the marketing of the team, not just here, but around the world. And I feel like there's an ascension of the game globally. I mean, there are a bunch of countries historically, whether it's South Africa or New Zealand or Scotland or Australia, where rugby is the main sport. But now I remember talking to family who live in England, and they knew about the Wolfpack, who I don't necessarily know if they would know about some of the other teams in this market. And when I was a kid playing rugby, people would reference it as the sport where you wore short shorts and lifted a guy up to get the ball and play. But now with the Olympics and the movement and the things that you guys are doing, do you think the game as a whole is moving in an upward trajectory?
Yeah, especially over here. Also, when we first arrived, obviously when you speak to people around the place, they're not really up on what's going on. I think even the fans that come to our games, they're not really certain what's going on, but we sell beer there, so they're all in. So yeah, it's certainly an uprising sport, and obviously referencing to something what our owner always says, he always believes the world would be a better place if there were more rugby balls in kids' hands. So obviously if we was to, as our job as role models, if we can get one more child playing rugby league in North America, we feel like we've done our job. Because we don't want to make it about us, it's about the next generation and what we can do for them.
You guys are coming off as two very professional guys. I know there are some, there's a lighter side to the both of you as well. There's some pranks and camaraderie amongst the two of you and your teammates as well. I got to ask, what's the best prank you've pulled off this year in your time as a Wolfpack member? What's the worst prank that someone pulled on you?
I don't know if we can say it on TV.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I don't really know.
Do you have a proper answer to this?
We've had some good times. One of the boys,
safe way.
One of the boys actually last year we had on the team, Tom Dempsey. He was an Aussie lad. He was a very awkward person, and this is just like sort of just filming him and like trying to interview him and stuff. And he was that awkward. It just made it funny, and a lot of people on my social media used to love him. So. He was my go-to guy if I needed a laugh out of people.
That's the safe prank, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You guys went on a boat. You guys did it. I know you got interviewed by Danielle from City TV a couple weeks ago. She pulled up the tweet, said Roger's going to take you on a boat. You finally went on the boat. That piece aired today. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was difficult. It was harder than I expected. But no, it was all good fun. I say Roger's a great guy. Yeah. I remember putting a tweet also on Twitter saying that anyone got a boat and just fancy something different. Obviously Danielle reached out and obviously managed to get me and Blake on, and it was certainly something different. Obviously it's a bit nerve-wracking at times, but again it probably fits with what we're doing in Toronto, and everything's unique, everything's different, and yeah, we just bought into it. I mean, it was nothing new. The fact me looking after him as always. He was like a little child on that boat.
That's a standard thing between us two.
He's got your back, right?
Yeah, he's like the father figure. So I'm the fun one that gets a bit out of control, and then he pulls me back into line.
It's like us.
That is exactly
I take care of
like us. You do. Rugby is known as a sport, kind of hooligan sport played by gentlemen. Well, you guys are a great example, two gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out with us. Saturday, the push for promotion continues at Lamport. All the best, fellas.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having
Thank you.
us.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna get my hand squeezed if I shake him, but I'll do it none the way. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, yeah, relax, man. After the break, former Duke player and assistant